I was cursed by the convention gods this year. Hi, my name is Michelle, I'm an artist, and my life is kind of crazy. In all seriousness, I did like 4 or 5 conventions this year and it did not go that good. So I am ranking them in profit and vibes. I don't know which side is which. We'll figure it out. But yes, so this is gonna be that video. Don't know how long this is gonna be. I scripted it to make sure I don't go off track too much. We'll see, because I like to talk in circles. So yeah, this is gonna be from a business perspective. If you wanna put me in the background and do your own stuff, I'm not gonna be showing anything other than badges. It's mostly just gonna be me talking to the camera. First disclaimer, I did a TikTok with the abridged version of this, and I did my numbers wrong. So I kept a little like notes on my iPhone, and in parentheses I had a number that I thought was the profit for that con, but it wasn't. That was how much I paid to be at that con. So I did a little better than the TikTok and Instagram video I posted, but it's not that big of a difference anyway. But some conventions did switch from those videos. Sorry for the unintentional misinformation on my part. I read my numbers wrong until I was writing the script for this. Second disclaimer, just because I did bad doesn't mean that you're gonna do bad. Most of the year, my display was literally cardboard, so there's a lot of factors. It's table setup, your placement, your products, the audience, the convention. So, and then my complaining is from a business perspective and how I did, and not necessarily to the attendees and everybody who bought from me. Thank you so much if you did. Even if you just came and complimented my work, that's still great. I love you all. I always see some people that come back to my booths. Like, it's nice seeing the same faces. I don't remember names. I don't ask for names. I am so sorry. But sometimes I do remember faces, and I appreciate y'all. Anyway, thank you for supporting my art. If you're here, if you bought from me, or if this is the first time seeing me, hi. Starting the year in January was BizBaz Online. This is the badge. BizBaz Online is an online convention that happened for one day, and this should have been a warning for me. I do horrible online. I hardly get any sales. Usually it's just my tarot deck, but now that that's been sold out, I have nothing. So I didn't make any sales in this event, which again was a prediction of most of my year. So obviously BizBaz Online is gonna be on my number 5 in profit. I did this event because I saw another YouTube artists on YouTube that have done it in the past, and they did it very successfully. And so I thought, maybe I can get some sales or something. So that goes back to my point of, just because I did bad does not mean you will too. I don't know what is with my products and online sales, but it just doesn't reach the audience, because in person it does better. So, okay, so the event itself was live streamed on Twitch, I think, and on Discord, because they have a whole Discord server. And throughout the event, they showcased the artists, they had interviews with the artists, and they had other like small events like coloring page contests. They had games and raffles. You could win stuff. Another thing that I did like about BizBaz was how they take care of their vendors. It was an online event, but we got a badge. We also got a lanyard. We got pins and stickers and a flyer, and it was really, really nice. I don't get lanyards for a lot of the conventions that I attend. Just unfortunately for me, it did not work, because I think the majority of my audience is local. So like, why spend money online when they can see me in a market or in a convention here? As for the vibe, I am gonna put it at number 4 just because I won something at the end. They had this like raffle for like a pin set, and they said that vendors could join too, so I did, and I think it was only like 5 people left, so I won a pin set. Second event of the year was in April, and this is the first con that I ever did last year, and it was El Paso Comic-Con. Yes, El Paso Comic-Con. This is a badge. 3-day event local to me at the convention center here in El Paso. And I decided to return because last year was very successful for me. In profit, I made $600. But yeah, after last year's great success, I renewed my table but switched sections. So last year I was in the vendor section, which was very nerve-wracking for your first convention to be in the vendor section. Don't do that. But it turned out well for me. But this time I went to the artist section because it is half the price for the same size booth. So I was like, might as well save some money and maybe make more profit. I made a little less than what I did last year, I think. So last year I profited $600. This year I profited $500. So it was just like $100 difference, and for a booth that was half the price, this is pretty good. So for this convention, you get a 10x10 booth if it's just a regular booth. So everyone has basically a corner booth, unless you are in by the walls. Then you get an inline booth. So it's really, really nice because you get to have at least 2 tables if you wanted to. And because it's local to me, that's the one that I can take the most things with me to sell. I just haven't figured out how to properly display all of my stuff that looks appealing to like go to my booth and buy, because I've been trying to rebrand, and a lot of the things that I have right now that I can't get rid of are like very cutesy stuff, and I want to do more like dark themed. So it's a transition thing. But for this year's convention, I was in the last row of booths, of corner booths, towards the back. And for some reason, every other line had like crowds going to them, even the last like line of booths, except ours. It was me and my neighbors who were just like dead. With that being said, what I did notice that from the vendor section to the artist section is that a lot of people buy more from the vendors, so they get more foot trafficking. More foot traffic, sorry. So if you were to do this convention, and what I wanted to do for next year was get a booth that's right next to the vendor section, because you get your work seen by a lot more people. I had a problem this year with how they renewed booths. Another thing I like about how the people who run El Paso Comic-Con, how they do their events, is that they give priority to their vendors and artists. So if you have a vendor badge, you get VIP access. You get to cut the line basically for food and autographs. That way you can go back to your booth as soon as possible. So I am ranking it at number 1 just because I really like El Paso Comic-Con. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I made friends. I met a lot of artists that I hadn't last year because I was in a different section. And they were really nice, and they gave me a lot of tips and a lot of conventions that they recommended and stuff like that. So it was really nice, and I hope to see them next year because I know some of them will be coming back. After that, I did Anime El Paso, another local convention, and this one I did do a vlog, a con vlog for it if you want to watch it. So hold on, let me see my notes. El Paso Comic-Con, I got in very last minute. I was in the wait list for this, and I got into the convention like 2 days. I got the notice before it started. This is a 2-day convention, so it was Saturday and Sunday, and I was told I was in on like Wednesday night. So I didn't have enough time to like actually prepare and see my whole setup because I thought I had forgotten I had even applied for the waitlist to this. So I also didn't think I was gonna do well at this convention because it's an anime convention and I don't have much anime. I only have 2 Soul Eater stuff, a sticker and a button, and a howl print that I did almost specifically for this convention, or for anime conventions. Despite having those, I sold almost none. I sold more of my original work than my fan art and anime, so that was a really cool surprise and gave me a little more confidence to apply to more anime events rather than just Comic Cons, because like someone told me, since everybody's competing with anime and fan art, having something different is a good thing because it catches people's eyes. So despite my doubts, I am putting Anime El Paso at number 2 for profit, making $400 in profit ish. I'm rounding up or down, I don't know, but 400 in profit, and I am putting it at number 3 for vibes. There was a lot of new vendors and artists that I hadn't seen before at other events. Again, I think it's because it was more anime related than Comic-Con. There were a lot of new faces and it was very refreshing. So it was really nice seeing everybody, and I bought a lot of things. If you want to see everything that I bought, go check out my vlog. Yeah, it was really fun. My neighbor was super cute. I bought a lot from her and she gave me this ribbon. I want to make ribbons, so hopefully next year I can do something. Because I think it's fun to have the ribbons, and she was the first one that I saw that gave ribbons for purchases. So yeah, they were really nice. I had a small medical emergency at the end of the first day. My insulin pump decided to not work, so I had to go change it. Her and her helpers were really nice and looked after my table. Next up, in October, I did Anime Mundo. So Anime Mundo is another local convention. I did mostly local stuff because I got rejected from everything out of state. So so this event I didn't invest much into because me and my friends split a booth. So it was mostly profit because the booth itself was kind of cheap, and then we split it so it was even cheaper. So yeah, this is a 2 to 3 day event, only because we set up on Friday, and Friday they opened the con for only the VIP holder, card pass holders, for 2 hours. There was literally like no one. I don't think I even made a sale on Friday. I might have made just like one, but that was kind of dumb, just opening for 2 hours while people are still setting up. So I don't know if to say it was 3 days or 2 days. So profit wise, I made $340, which I put it at a number 3. And for vibes, I have it at number 2, only because I split the booth with my friend and I love her and she was great, and I don't socialize much. So this was really fun to have someone to talk to. If not, it would have been lower on my list. I have a problem with how this convention was run. When I was looking into splitting the booth, I had emailed and messaged them like 5 times and I didn't get any answers. When I tried to contact them through their website, there was a drop-down menu where you could choose what convention you're like asking about, and they didn't have Anime Mundo. So I had to choose a random one and be like, hey, I am not asking about this convention, but this other one that you don't have an option for. And they never answer me. So if splitting a booth was not allowed, oh well. Another thing, my friend, when she purchased the booth, she was told it was in the description that she was gonna get a corner booth, a 10 by 10 corner booth. yeah, 10 by 10 or 8 by 8, but it was a corner booth. So when we split it, we were thinking of doing one side each. That way we both have enough space and foot traffic and not be hiding. But when we got there, they were all inline booths and not even the correct measurements. They had so much space in between the vendors and the voice actors, and they just kept squishing the tables together. I think for inlines, it was like 8 by 6 or something like that. So you could still fit like 2 tables if you wanted in like an L shape. But the way that they had set it up, it made it not that hard. So a lot of the other artists had to like scoot the tables a little more to have enough space to get the 2 tables and still be able to sit down. And basically when we asked them about why we didn't get the corner booth, they were like, oh, sorry, that was a typo. So we had to compromise and do the L shape. And so I had the long side and my friend had her normal table, which was kind of bad because, and I felt really, really bad because her table was screwed all the way back and mine, you couldn't see it unless you were walking from one side. So we were both kind of hidden and I felt really, really bad that her stuff wasn't also being like looked at. I hope she did well. Anyway, moving on to my last convention that I don't have a badge for was World Oddities Expo in Chicago. And this was the first time that I that I had to fly to be at a convention. So it was very nerve-wracking because I didn't know how much to pack, like always. And this was a 1-day event. Don't do 1-day events unless you think that you're actually gonna make the money back. I did the Chicago event because I have family in Chicago and I could stay with them, so my expenses weren't gonna be that high anyway. And I've been trying to get into the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, so I thought this would be like, if they see that I'm like that I can get into like other oddity stuff, maybe I can be led into that other one. I am putting it at number 4 on my profits, making 70 in profit, which later I spent almost the entirety on an Uber to the airport. So it wasn't that much profitable. I worked Fan Expo Chicago and compare the crowds to that one because it was in the same venue. It was like 1/4 of the crowd. I know that World Oddities Expo, it's kind of a smaller convention traveling expo, so maybe just people didn't know about it, I don't know. But I am placing it at number 4 for vibes because I was tired that entire day. I set up the day of, so I was already tired. There wasn't like much transactions happening or much interaction with people happening that I got bored. I liked walking around. I actually was able to walk around and I bought some stuff from people. Oh, I am putting it at number 5 for vibes. Because I didn't win anything. I'm joking. I'm joking. I hope that World Oddities Expo does better for artists in the upcoming years, because I think this is their 2nd year doing it, because I really did like how it was run. I like the staff and how everything was set up. I took too much stuff because the booth itself was, I think, a 10 by 10 as well, so you got 2 tables. And I was like, I'm not gonna waste a table when maybe I can sell more. So that's why I took a lot of stuff. But I came back with almost the same. So yeah, I think it's a good con if you're local. This expo could have switched with BizBaz on the profit as well, because I didn't pay for my flights. For my flight to Chicago, I paid in points, so it wasn't actually money. And then my flight back was paid by my aunt because I was pet sitting for them for like a week. If not, I would have been like -300 for this convention. So if you are local and you want to do World Oddities Expo, I think it's an okay con. Especially if you do have more creepy stuff. If that's your target audience, I think it would be really good. I just wouldn't travel for it. So yeah, that was it. That was all the content I did for this year. Next year, I am doing some of the ones that I'm talked about here. I applied for a few others. Most of them I've been rejected or waitlisted, so we'll see. But I hope for a better year. But I am starting, this is my second year in conventions, so I guess, and I am learning and make products that I want and that I want to be, I don't want to say that I want to be associated with, but that I'm proud of. And that is me rebranding into more darker themes. So I'm just trying to get rid of the other stuff. If you want to help me get rid of stuff, you can check out my Etsy store. All the links are below. Yeah, so in the meantime, if you want to check it out, for some of the stuff that I do want to get rid of, there's a constant sale. It fluctuates between how much discount. Right now it is 20% off. So if you want to check it out. I am also having a Kickstarter for a tarot and oracle deck. If you are into that, it is from January 1st to January 22nd. Seeing this and you have a shop, I do offer wholesale. And if you know anybody who's into divination, tarot, oracles, please send that to them, because I am horrible at social media marketing and I need the eyes on my projects, basically. Or if you just want to like give me a tip, I have a Kobe for that. Everything is listed below, and I think that's it. That was my ramble of all the conventions I did this year, and hopefully next year I'll also do a lot more vlogs for the conventions. I'm doing Albuquerque Comic Con and they have Elvira coming to it, so that is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited for that one. Anyway, that was my little ramble. I hope if you were doing something in the background, I hope you finished that thing you were doing. If not, I hope I didn't bore you. I also wanted to mention that a big thank you to anybody who did come and support my booth and bought from me or just came in and had a conversation with me. I truly appreciate it. And I'll see you on my next video. If you want to keep in touch before then, I have an Instagram. Hope the holiday season was good to you and winter does not make you sick. I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Comment, like, share, subscribe, all of the YouTube terms. I'll see you next time. Bye.